Hello and welcome to what is going to be one of the last episodes of Brain 10. Well, I don't want to say last, but
yeah, I wouldn't say last.
It's getting. I don't want to say it's going to end. I think that's the thing because it's going to evolve into something else.
Right.
And we've been talking about it, and it's going to be a podcast, but we're still going to be making YouTube videos, which is great. And I guess I just already went on a tangent here. Let me introduce myself. My name is Christian.
And my name is Franklin.
This is episode 139. I think it's things that you can do. I'm sorry, guys. Things that you can do, or how to keep creating fresh content for your business, whether it's social media, your blogs, your emails, anything like that. How to keep it fresh. And like I was saying, this is going to be one of the last episodes of us doing the show with this format, I guess. I believe the name of the show will change once we switch to a podcast only. And what we'll do is we'll have a sort of the same format of the show, but in a podcast mode, different name, different branding. And then we'll do sort of snippets of that show, maybe like those really good golden nuggets of information that we get from the podcast, and we'll share them with you here on YouTube. Not live, but still we're going to share them here too.
Right.
All right. I think you have the first one today.
Yep. I have the first one, and mine is highlighted. Not because it's more important than everything else that Christian wrote, but just simply because I have horrible vision and I needed to be able to distinguish mine from his. But anyway, first thing on my list is something that I do personally, and it's explore history of specific patterns in trends, and actually document them and try to come up with something that's in line with your industry or what you want to post about that is consistent with that upcoming or possible coming trend. A perfect example of that is if you would pay attention to in the past 10 years, how movies have gone from like specific genre to another specific genre to another genre, and then they repeat the cycle and they come back with those particular things. If you pay attention to like the early late 80s, early 90s, something that was super big was sci-fi and alien movies, and now 10 years later that trend has started to come back with the emergence of Independence Day and Alien: The Covenant. And it started earlier with the first movie that came out that was the prequel to Aliens, which was, what's the name of that movie?
Prometheus.
Prometheus, yes.
Yeah.
So pay attention to trends like that. It's just like fashion. It always repeats itself, and you can come up with some great content if you can pay attention to the trends that happen in your industry. Yeah,
that's very true. And I guess, the big takeaway there is to just pay attention to what's going on.
Right.
But yeah, I think something that comes to mind whenever you were talking about that was the fidget spinners.
Exactly.
You bought one.
Mm-hmm.
It was maybe around, I think it was last year around December that fidget, or maybe it was January of this year, that fidget cube.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that fidget cube, that the spinners, they were on Twitter. I saw them like here and there. And then like now it's just like it's blown up. Like it's insane. And I remember whenever you brought that one to the office, that fidget spinner, I went to my phone and I had a picture that I had screenshotted of a fidget spinner because I wanted one because I saw it on Twitter or somewhere. And it wasn't even that popular back then, but
right.
I was already like sort of seeing like this is gonna like go crazy.
Right.
But I didn't see it coming though. Even though I was paying attention to it, I didn't think that it would get
that much attention.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, that's really good. So the first thing that I have here, it's something a little bit more technical, and that is to use BuzzSumo. And with BuzzSumo, you obviously have the paid version, but with the free version, you can do several searches and get like the top 5 trending things on a particular topic or a particular news article or a blog post or anything like that. So BuzzSumo, I mean, if you have the money and you can pay for BuzzSumo in order to create fresh new content, BuzzSumo is a great tool. It has everything that you would need ever to create all the fresh content that you need for your blog, for your social media. So yeah, if you have the money, BuzzSumo is a great tool. If you don't have the money, it's still a pretty decent tool because it's obviously very limited on what you can do with it. But it's still a pretty good tool, even if you're on that free trial thing.
Nice. So how long does the trial go for, though? Is it just like, is it an indefinite trial or you get there at 5, or is it like?
Yeah, I think it's one of those where you can do up to like 5 searches a day or something.
Okay. I mean, that's still pretty cool especially for someone in our area that is like super niche based and super niche specific. If they go in there and do 5 searches a day, that would be great for someone that's in our area, and also somebody that's just starting up. Yep. All right. Well, cool. Next thing on my list is survey relevant sources or DM a couple of people that are actually in that industry and talk to them about things that they would want to see in the upcoming future. Like it's kind of like the nitty gritty, like Aaron likes to say it, the getting in the trenches, but not specifically for actually like trying to build like a relationship with people, but trying to see what they want to see or trying to get what information they want to know and what they want to learn. A lot of people do that with their Twitter. A lot of people do it with their Instagram stories, and I'm seeing it a lot in their Snapchat stories too, asking people to DM them questions, DM them with things that they want to know and things that they want to learn. And they build their content based off of what one person said, because just like in a classroom, whenever one person raises their hand, I'm guaranteeing you that at least 3 to 4 people have that same question. So think about it. If you have a community of at least 1,500 followers, at a third of those followers might want to know what one person wants to know. And you get to create relevant content based off of the information that you found out from one person.
Yeah, I think that's huge. It's almost like you're letting your audience create the content for you, or come up with the content. Yeah, that's really good. So my next one here is, and I forgot what I really meant by this, but I think I know. I think we do this in our company, BitBranding, and we sort of, when it comes to creating content for, at least for social media, and it's maybe some big holiday like Mother's Day or Father's Day or something like that, or 4th of July, we usually, I mean, obviously we're a small enough company that all 3 of us can sort of just, hey, stop what you're doing. Let's talk about this real quick.
Right.
And talk about, what would be a cool post for social media. For example, for Mother's Day, Aaron and I came up with the idea of doing a piece of paper, and then, little kids do the macaroni art, and they glue it to a piece of paper. So we decided to just do a big M and then just write M is for mom. And that was our social media post, and then we just took a picture of it. So I guess in order to come up with fresh new ideas, like what I'm trying to say is, like, you need to get other people involved in the brainstorming efforts. If you're a bigger company and you have different departments, then get someone from those departments in there. It's like, get someone from sales, get someone from HR. Like, you never know, like, it's not just the marketing department that should come up with these ideas. Regular people have pretty good ideas too, and you'll be surprised with the things that they come up with. And it might be something that you don't use, but in the long run, it might be something that you do end up using, or maybe it sparks something else based off of one idea. So don't be afraid to sort of gather some people from your company and do maybe some brainstorming sessions. And then the other big thing on the point that I'm trying to make here is to save and catalog and do all these things. And an example that I saw somewhere was someone had a Slack channel, and then they would throw in stuff in there as they thought of something like, oh, this would be a cool Mother's Day idea. They just write it in there, or if they saw it on Facebook or something, they just take a screenshot and put it in there. And I do that personally. And then when it comes time to us to meet and talk about certain things, or if I ever remember, then I bring it up. But I do take a lot of screenshots on my phone, especially. Like I'm always taking screenshots of something that I find funny, or something that's going to be good for our business, or whatever. And I keep it in my phone. So it might be a good idea to anything that, I take a screenshot of, or I see something, just put it in a Slack group or a Slack channel. That's sort of just like a brainstorming content idea. I think that'd be really good.
It's kind of like what we call in photography, like almost like a mood board. Like when a lot of times when we're trying to come up with a shoot style, we go and find the different things that actually correlate with what we're getting across. Yep. But that's a good idea. Manny Fresh used to do that. The guy that used to make all the music for Cash Money Records, he used to do that. Whenever he came up with an idea for a new beat, he would take his phone out and he would record a voice memo, which is basically what you're doing with images.
Right.
You're like screenshotting them. It's like, I like that idea. Like, I don't want to lose it now. And now it's in your camera roll forever. Mm-hmm. Nice. I'm going to have to take that. I'm still in that idea. Sorry. Actually, I have a next one, but it really goes kind of like in part with what you just said, Christian. And it's the way that I brainstorm. And this is something that I got from school. I don't remember exactly what it's called. I just call it the brainstorm bubble web. Like, it's kind of like it looks like kind of like a family tree if you do it right, or you can do it in a circle. You take your general idea, what you're trying to create content around, right? And you put it in the circle. And then you draw lines away from that circle, and you come up with at least 3 to 5 individual ideas around that big picture, right? And then off of that one, guys, you take a couple ideas on the outer ideas. And if you can come up with at least 5 ideas for that minimum of 3 general ways that you're going to create content around this particular subject, 5 ideas on those 3 outer ideas. I wish I had a way that I could draw this so you guys can see it. But if you do that, you'll come up with at least 15 posts around that one particular subject, and each post will be completely different. That would be a great way that you and your team, like Christian was saying, can come up with some great content around a subject that you're trying to create content around, whether that be Mother's Day or a specific holiday, or if you have a product that you're trying to push. That would be a great way to come up with multiple different concepts on how you're going to market that product.
Yeah. And I think Aaron would know this because he's been using it, but I think it's called Lucid Chart, maybe. And it's just like a web version of what you're talking about, like doing a mind map where you have that main idea and then you split it up. Is it a mind map? Is that what it is?
That is it. That is what it is. There's actually an app called Mind Map or something like that that's in your phone, and it creates everything that I just got through saying.
Okay, so that's maybe the term. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely, I agree with that. Okay, so the last one here is almost goes with the very first one that you said, but it's a little bit more technical, and there's basically the 3 main players here for me, at least. There might be something else out there, but that I use as far as trends and what's going on. It's Twitter trends, Google trends, and Facebook trends. Mm-hmm. With Facebook, I mean, Facebook actually had some controversy behind it because at first it wasn't an algorithm. It was like a team of people who they would put up these sort of featured stories. Right there are the trending stories, and they would come up with the verbiage and all that stuff, and it came under fire for a lot of different reasons. But then they switched it. They got rid of that team, and now it's just an algorithm who comes up with that trending thing, which is fine. You can still find out about what's going on in the world by just looking at that. And then it's the same thing with like Twitter. and I think Google is a little bit more sophisticated. You have like some things that you can change and see maybe from like different countries. You can see what's trending on different countries and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the times I find out about something that's going on at that particular time because I'm looking at Twitter trending or Facebook trending. Google, I don't do as much. I used to actually check that at least once a week, but I don't do that as often. But definitely whenever I'm on Twitter, I go to the what's trending, and I usually find like a hashtag, and then I click on the hashtag to see like where it came from. And then I find out that, you know, something happened, or some event is going on, or some conference is going on, or someone famous did this, or whatever. I really do like Twitter trends. Facebook is more for like news, but Twitter is more for like, what is that? Like
Pop
mainstream, culture? Like pop culture stuff. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's like a new trailer comes out. Like, yeah, that's going to be on Twitter. Sometimes on Facebook too.
You know what? I always wondered how you always knew when a new trailer came out. Like, because I honestly haven't been using Twitter to its full capabilities because I'm so afraid of actually investing time in it because I don't know where it's going to be in the next like year or so. But that right there was a nugget enough to actually get me to start using it more. I started tweeting, but not enough to talk about. Like, but now, yeah, I think I might need to jump on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really even tweet that much. I like Twitter because I can keep up with what's going on right now.
Right.
And even like, for example, last night actually, there's this big rapper from Puerto Rico who said something on like some Latin Billboard awards, and he was like basically like throwing shade at a bunch of other rappers, like almost like the whole. But this rapper is like so good. It's like, think of like an Eminem or like a Kendrick Lamar, like saying like, you know, F off to everyone.
Oh,
and,
God.
You know, if you're gonna like, you know, make a diss song or something, like do it. I'm ready for it. So last night, someone did make a diss song to him, and then he literally, it was like maybe like 6 hours, and he came up with a song, recorded it, had a freaking awesome beat, and he put it out at midnight, like the same day that the other guy had the diss track. Like, he was like on it. And it was funny because whenever things like that happen, where it's like in the moment, like the best way to really find out what other people are saying and stay up to date, is go to Twitter and check out. I just typed in his name, and there was like just a bunch of people talking about it, you know?
Flooded. Oh my God.
Yeah, yes. Flooded talking about it. And that's what's fun for me about Twitter, is that you can find, you know, a community of people that are talking about the same topic by just searching for it. Like on Facebook, yeah, I had some friends talking about it, but it was different bubbles of conversations, and I would have to be friends with those people, you know, to really comment and have a conversation going. As to Twitter, like if you have your profile on public, like, and you use his name and you search for, like, you'll see a stream of people talking about the same thing, which is really fun to me. That's just, I don't know. To me, it's cool to be able to, like, in the moment, you know, have that conversation with other people about things that are happening.
Right.
That's why I love Twitter.
Yes. So, takeaway from everything that we've talked about, and a lot of high points, is like brainstorming, keeping up with trends, and community, and like keeping up what's going on. Communicate with community so that you can actually come up with some relevant topics to create content around.
Yeah. Way too often, I think I see a lot of business owners saying like, "Oh, I'm not the creative type. Like, I can't come up with," like, yes, you can. All you have to do is just put some time and effort into it, and you know, you'll be able to come up with something. Even if you don't think it's the best thing in the world, by doing that, you'll get better at it. You know, by brainstorming and actually coming up with ideas, you'll get better at coming up with ideas.
Exactly. You have to start somewhere. One foot moving 1 inch is better than 1 foot staying in the same spot.
Right. Or going backwards.
Going backwards. All right.
Yep. Okay, so I think that's it for this episode. Again, this is how to keep creating fresh content for your business. My name is Christian.
My name is Franklin.
And we'll see you next week for a special episode and a kumbaya type style episode, I guess, where we're going to say goodbye to YouTube Live, and we're going to jump into doing a podcast for this show.
Right.
All right. So we'll see you next week.
Next week.